Hello, my name is Gabe the Babe.
Otherwise known as Ellie.
Ellie, press go.
I am Nina Arnone.
Yeah, you are. And welcome to Office Hours.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to our first, not video episode. I started uploading this podcast to my YouTube channel. So for those who listen, you should check out my YouTube channel. And if you're on my YouTube channel, I have a podcast. And now you can see our faces and you can see what Arnone eats every time we record.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it today?
Leftover mac and cheese from the Super Bowl and Brussels sprouts, carrots, and corn.
Nice. Except for the Brussels sprouts.
The mac and cheese was really good. It was Kyle's mom got this recipe, and you just you throw everything into the pot and let it cook, but it's a box of like elbow pasta, a pint of heavy cream,
It comes in pints.
a cup of water, and then like 2 cups of cheddar cheese.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's so good. And then we
Yeah.
added bacon bits and caramelized onions.
The bacon would kill me, but the onions sound phenomenal.
Take that out for sure.
Yeah.
And then we
edit that out.
We put that in like a pan, put breadcrumbs over it,
Nice.
baked it. It's so good.
Delicious. Oh, so did you go over to his mom's for the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh. How did he get the mac and cheese?
It's just her recipe.
Oh, I see. I thought in order to share a recipe, the person had to physically be in the room.
No. It is
or send a carrier pigeon.
And peoples do have phones, so.
Peoples do have phones.
Yeah.
Is what she said to me.
They have the phones.
To put me in my place, she said, peoples do have phones.
Yeah.
You showed me.
Take that.
I will. My God, this cat is shedding literally all over me. Like, my pants are brown and my legs are white.
Let's see it.
I don't know if it's gonna do it justice. Yeah, like it looks. Yeah, like it's. Oh,
Can't tell.
Hold on. Oh, my hip!
I think I saw it.
Just a smattering. The smattering. It's just, she's, oh my God. We're going through a phase right now. I think it's adolescence. She's gonna turn 2 this May, and the terrible 2s are on the horizon. She's been so, I think she's acting out for attention. She knows she's not supposed to sit on the dining table. She knows she's not supposed to sit anywhere that we eat. Because, I don't want litter feet on my food. She's walking away. She's mad. I know. So I'm like, you are not permitted to be on the kitchen counters. You are not allowed on the coffee table. You are not allowed on the dining table. And lately, I've been, going into the kitchen and, going to get, make something. It's peanut butter and jelly. And then I come out, and she's sitting on the dining table just looking at me. And I go, hey. And she, goes, and, sprints off of the table. But it keeps happening. Every time she'll it literally happened tonight where I made my peanut butter and jelly and I walked out and she's sitting on the table watching the window. And I was like, hey, and she looked behind me, behind her and gasped and then leapt off the table. And she keeps scratching my bed frame, which she knows she's not allowed to do. And she can hear me go and reach. I have a little spray bottle by my bed that's just filled with water. And when she hears me roll over to grab it, she hops on the bed and is like, and then she's rubbing all over me and purring, and it's just I'm so confused. You're so fucking annoying, but you're adorable all at the same time, and you're hideous. So it's a lot of paradoxes in this house this week.
There's just a lot of emotions, yeah.
A lot of emotions occurring. Yeah, just tons. She's not even 2 yet, and we're already expressing rebellion, which is a little concerning because...
Well, how do cats age?
Like fine wine. I don't know what you mean by that.
You know how, in dog years, it's 7 human years?
Oh, I see.
What's cat years?
Cat... I feel like it's similar to dog years, but let's see. Oh, no! To convert...
He thinks it's 27.
Yeah, it's like to
She's already an
convert
old
cat
lady.
age to an equivalent human age, an accepted method is to add 15 years for the first year of life, then add 10 years for the second year of life. After that, add 4 years for every cat year.
So
I
she's
don't
25?
I think she's 25. So we're the same. So that's why we're like butting heads, because it's literally like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm older than you. Why are you
Yeah,
telling me what to do?
I can do what I want. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
can't. I don't know what to tell you.
You
Okay.
wouldn't make it without me. That's
This
so
is
complicated to figure out cat years. That's
I
unnecessary.
know.
With dogs, they're like, just add 7.
But apparently that's not like totally correct. Yeah, so then add 4 years for every cat. Okay. Yes, so
After that.
2 human years is 24 cat years. So a 1-year-old cat is adulthood, the equivalent of 18 human years. And then in parentheses, it says, your cat may cast a vote. That's so crazy. So in 2 more years, she's going to be 35. 6, she's going to be 42. And then in 16 human years, she'll be 84. My God. Wow. Yeah, it says it isn't as simple as using a factor of 7. Cats mature quickly in the first couple years of life.
That's why
A
she's
1-month-old
rebelling. She's like, I know
kitten.
what to do.
Yeah, a 3-month-old kitten is a 4-year-old child.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And then it says 1-month-old kitten equals 6-month-old human baby. I love that. That is so funny. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So she's my age, and yet we're throwing little fits. It's insane.
She's having a quarter life crisis. You need to let her work through this.
I guess so. She really is. I mean, I guess I understand. I too like am like throwing little fits and being like, I'm just baby. I'm just tiny baby.
I'm just a little girl.
And then I'm alone in my house talking to the cat with no pants on.
And the cat's like, ugh, fine, I'll do your taxes.
Stephanie runs TurboTax. Don't let her fool you. Speaking of adult moves, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to.
How did you jinx it?
Because I don't know, something could go wrong. Knowing me and my luck, like they could see me and be like, no. But anyway, as we all know, I currently live in a 3-bedroom apartment because I lived with 2 other people. One of them being this fool.
Yes, that's me.
And Sammy is moving away, much to my deep chagrin. But I'm staying in Boston, as we talked about last episode. I'm going to die here, and I will only leave the city when I'm with child, and that is still very true. Which is why I'm moving out of the city. No, I'm kidding. But I've been like apartment hunting pretty frantically the past few months because I just didn't know what the next step was going to be. I knew that I wanted to stay in the city, but I didn't really know
I think once you got it in your head.
which I mean, give it a day and it's going to happen. And so I had like a particular budget because it's just me and I'm not splitting like amenities with anyone. So there's just like a lot of different factors with living alone. But there's like the old wives' tale that like every woman should live alone for a year is like the thing that like grandmothers say. Because
that's not what my grandmother said.
Well,
they said marry ASAP.
Marry
You're
ASAP Rocky.
Wasting time.
Yeah,
I wish.
That's true. I know, and I would have
They
been
would
like,
never.
I agree, Grandma. It's I don't know where I heard it, but it's like I don't know. It's a thing. I call in if it's a thing, please, because I've heard it many, many times where it's like it's important for women this day and age. This isn't me saying this. This is just like this is the grandmothers who didn't marry at 19, who are like every woman, if they can, should live alone because that's when you like foster the most independence and learn the most about yourself and are literally left to your own devices because there's no roommate contributing.
You gotta figure it out. I think
you gotta figure
that
shit
is
out.
said. I just don't think it's grandmas who are saying it.
Can you just let me like paint a picture with words and not analyze it to shreds? Okay, well, this is our last episode. But so anyway, there was a lot of factors going in, and another thing that I didn't want to repeat was when I moved here 3 years ago, I was not at all proactive in finding an apartment because I didn't really know where to start. I was 21. I was living like alone for the first time. Yeah, and I was also distracted with graduating undergrad, and I don't know. There was a lot of things that came into play, and I just wasn't taking initiative of it because I didn't know where to start. So I didn't want to do that this time around. So I was like, find a place, and I found this place on like one of the like renters apps, and the pictures were kind of shitty, but I was like, it's under budget, so
Maybe they just can't take a picture.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna inquire because like the space itself looked like it had potential, and I like scheduled and I was originally a little suspicious because then like the agent emailed me like within 5 minutes of me requesting a tour, and I kind of was like, oh, what's the catch here? I don't
Maybe you got them when
understand.
they like just put it on.
I think I did. But anyway, so we scheduled like a tour like a week later. It was on, I think it was on Monday I went. So I went 2 days ago to tour this place.
Yeah.
And I literally like I walked through the door, and I already said this to you, but I walked through the door and I felt like I was walking into my home. Like I don't know what the current tenants are, like what they do for work, but the way in which they like designed their apartment was very similarly to how I would.
Yeah,
They had like
it's really good.
Yeah, they did a great job. And so
all
like
those hanging plants.
I want plants, so I'm gonna get some plants because plants are great, and I've never had plants because I just don't really know what to do with them. But I don't know, like
water, I think.
Well, yes, but like, God, I'm like, if I die, do they die? If they die, do I die? And then I would hope, and then I would kill them. So it's a whole thing. It's a toxic cycle.
You should get on. You should get on like plant TikTok.
I'm on so many weird parts of TikTok right now. I can't.
I know, but it's so fun to watch because they'll put like time lapse videos. They'll do like, okay, they do a big bowl of water and they put the plant in it, and then the plant takes however much water it needs. But they do a time lapse, and you see the plant like coming back to life.
See, really I feel like when I get into plants, that'll appeal to me. Right now, that does nothing for me. I'm like, cool, nature at work. It's a miracle of life.
Well, then why do you want plants?
Because I hear they help people like me who struggle internally. So
they do. It gives you like it's like the same thing that Stephanie helped you with.
So it's gonna just milk me dry, and I'm gonna have to pay $40 a year to keep it alive, or $40 a month, not a year. God, could you imagine?
No,
I would have everything insured. But anyway.
But I have heard that coffee water is good for plants, so.
Like your like old bean water?
Yeah, like you have water and you put your grounds in it. There's like a ratio. There's nutrients in the coffee grounds.
This is not the TikTok that I subscribe to. My TikTok is so stupid.
The other day I got one of your old weird hamster like those dolls telling a story thing.
Oh my God, the calico critters.
Yeah. And I was like, no! Get these away from me.
Those are so funny. The calico critter claymation films, it's always a Katy Perry song in the background.
Yeah,
like an old Katy Perry song.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so fucking funny. I was
like, what the fuck? I felt like you like got in my phone somehow.
I did. I just liked like 70 of them. Just for the opportunity. Yeah, that you would have the one. Yeah, I was scrolling through TikTok and that popped up in front of someone who I really didn't want to see that. And
you were like, but we have to watch.
I was like,
I can't miss an episode.
I tried to turn it off and they were like, no, come on, what the fuck is that?
What's this? That's funny.
I was like, what if I told you instead that I voted for Trump? Like, let's say something else just to distract. Let's say anything. That would be different. But so I was walking through this apartment and I was just truly in love with it. Like, absolutely. Like, I was like, this is me. Another thing that I knew made it so that I just like energetically felt like it was mine was sorry. We're having a behavioral issue.
Quarter life crisis.
Seriously. One thing that made it like even more so is like as I was walking around, I was like picturing Stephanie like running like across the hall or like jumping onto the windowsill and like sleeping in the sun. And like I was already imagining like where I would put her litter box, where I would put her little cat tree. And like I was like, okay, if I'm imagining like my belongings and the creatures I coexist with to like thrive in this place, I feel like that's another indication that this is great. And like somehow the location is even better than this apartment. It's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So then I called my mom because I had sent her pictures of it and was like, I'm in love with it. And she was asking a couple of questions about it and da da da. And so I called her, and the first thing she says is she's like, so you love the only apartment you have actually physically looked at? And I was like, yes. And I always get nervous because my mom's opinion means so much to me. And I knew that it was like a more like not irrational choice, but like more sudden, I guess, and I guess impulsive in some ways.
Yeah, definitely
Because
impulsive.
yeah, and I mean, I had like applied or requested tours on like a bunch of different places, and none of them really got back. A lot of them were actually never on the market, and they just forgot to take it off of the app. So it was like a lot of those. So I was nervous because I was like, yeah. And then my mom was like, I think the place is adorable and I love it. And I think you would be so happy there. And then she surprised me. She was like, if you want it, then you should go for it. And normally my mom is someone who's like, weigh your options, look elsewhere, like make sure, like my mom makes very calculated decisions. And my mom has also moved around a lot. So she's very well versed in like finding a good place and the patience in which it takes to do that. But so it said even more to me, like, my mom is telling me to go for this place because she sees something in it that I do. So I that day applied. I filled out a renter's application, got everything kind of figured out. And then I found out this morning that my application was approved and I got the place, and I'm so happy.
That's really exciting.
I'm so excited. I feel like I'm not mentally ill. Like I'm so overjoyed.
Is this what real joy is?
I guess I don't know. It's just like it's like kind of what we talked about. I don't know if it was last episode or 2 episodes ago. I have no idea anymore. But it's like a lot of like the nerves of like wanting to stay here so badly and not really knowing what that's going to look like, and like getting this apartment just like it feels like a little less blurry. Like it's another year in my favorite city in the world, and I'm still in my early 20s, and this is what I want to do, and I'm so inspired when I'm in this place right now and all this stuff. And like I don't know, just like getting this place and having it like already feel like home, it just, I don't know, it's there's something like it's like some spiritual bullshit I really feel, but I don't need to get on
That's
into
all right.
here. But like it just really feels like I really feel like I manifested a lot of this. And not saying that like I didn't have an insane amount of help and an incredible support system, but like I wanted to stay here, and I found a place that works for me and works for my support system, and it's just like I don't know, it's like a dream come true.
It can be both.
I can't believe how lucky I got in like finding a place and snatching it up, and just like finishing my novel and getting the thesis out there, and like just really trying to like
feels like it's all gonna,
it just feels possible now. Like I always like kept saying like, yeah, it's possible, like I can get there, and like I obviously did believe that to an extent. Are you kidding? We're having a great moment, and then she goes rogue. But so, you know what feels impossible? This fucking cat. But oh, hello. Please don't hurt me. But so like the concept, it was very easy to say like, yeah, like I'll get there when I get there and da da da, but like the planning was very intimidating. And I don't know, like now it's like, okay, I know where I'm gonna be for the next year. And and I know what I have to do, and there's something about like knowing where I'm going to be when I do it that is just very empowering, assuring, comforting, motivating, just all the things. So I don't know, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I really like life right now, and I just feel like a lot of things are going great, and the mentally ill part of me is like, when's the bomb gonna drop? Who's gonna die? Is it gonna be you? Let's hope. And I'm like,
Hey,
trying to step away from that, because you should not be doubtful when good things happen to you. You should be
no.
grateful and happy that they're happening and know that you deserve them.
Sure.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Bad things are gonna happen either way.
of
You just have
course,
to pay attention to the good stuff
right?
more.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's like, do you hear Casey Musgrave's new song?
Yes, I love it. I actually love it.
It's just like that. Like, yes, you just like life's just changed.
Yeah, that's kind of what it
We're
was.
growing up.
Yeah,
You're
I
just
know.
being intentional, and life is happening accordingly.
Yeah.
Not to say you're not gonna like struggle again. You will. Sorry to break it to you, but
of course I will.
yeah.
You want to see a magic trick? I'll put a struggle in my way. Absolutely, I will.
Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Oh shit! Thank you so very much. You as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What are we doing? You and I. What are we
I'm
doing?
thinking wine.
Candlelit dinner.
What are you doing? Yeah.
I just had a PB&J.
Whatever you want.
I'm watching my cat make biscuits on my bed. Hopefully not throw up or shit on it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's uncertain right now. It's looking a little suspicious. What are you doing? I don't like it when she smells like this. Like when she like is smelling so intensely. It's like she's it's like she's trying to find something that's gonna make her throw up. Oh, she found it. Okay, well, can you relax, please? Thank you so much. Just sit down. It's okay. Just sit down. You don't need to. She gagged again. It's the orange cat energy.
The personal discovery I made this week.
Yes,
I debated
do.
a lot whether to talk about it on the podcast. I was going to tell you either way, but whether to talk about it here.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, backstory. I'm in the first relationship I've ever been, now at 25. As such, I am a very independent person.
Right.
And I don't, like, open up to people often. Not in, like, a bad way, not in a way that's, like, it's just, like, not instinctual to me, right?
Yeah.
So I've been working on that in relationship things. And what day is it today?
Wednesday.
I think it was this past weekend at some point. Kyle and I are playing card games. Very fun.
Yeah.
I'd had a glass of wine, and I wasn't going to have another. And he said something about having another because I'm more affectionate when I drink wine. And that's not,
true.
And so it bothered me that night, but I was like, get over it, just play the games, like, it's fine.
Like, that he said it, or that, like...
That he noticed it. Like, I was, the fact that he noticed that about me. Because I was like, well, I want to be affectionate with him. Why am I not affectionate?
I see, yeah.
You know? And I was like, why can't you be affectionate with him? Blah, blah. And I'm, like, getting on my case, and I'm like, be better, blah, blah. Like,
of course.
Obviously, he wants you to be more affectionate. And then I didn't bring it up that night. Like, we just kept playing card games. But I was like, why is this bothering you so much?
Yeah.
And the next day, I was thinking about it more, and I was realizing, which maybe seems obvious when I say it now, but it did take, like, a good day and a half of reflection.
Sure.
But that, like, I was upset about it, not because, like, he noticed that I was more affectionate when I drink, because, like, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense to be more affectionate when you drink.
Yeah,
all people are.
That's true of many people, yeah.
Like, that's normal to become more affectionate when I'm drunk, so why did it bother me? And I think it was because I realized that it was because I only allow myself to be that when I drink, whether I want to be affectionate, like, when I'm not. Like, I just don't, like, if I have the thought of it, I don't do it. I don't act on it.
Right.
Unless I've had, like, a glass or two of wine or something. Right. And then I allow myself to be, and I can go back and blame it on the wine and be like, you're not soft, you're still hard, like, you're still independent, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, maybe you do want to be more affectionate. Like, you found someone you want to be with. Like, you took you took your time. You took enough time.
You did.
You found someone. And so I like tested it and I was more affectionate the next day of just like going on more instinct of like what I wanted. And it wasn't even that much. It was like giving him a hug.
Yeah.
Like it literally like it was I don't do pet names. Like I don't like the pet names.
Yeah.
Specifically baby. I've told him that too. I was like, I hate baby. Never call me that. I'll never call you that.
Hey, baby.
I can't
Some
say
people
it's
some
weird.
people liked that. Some people liked that I said that.
Why would you want your partner, who's supposed to be your equal, to see you as a child? Or to, like, why would you, like, infantilize your partner? It doesn't make sense to me. It's a weird nickname. Where did it come from?
I don't know. I kind of want to look it up.
I know, me too. Now that I say that. Where did that start?
You keep talking. I will be listening. I'm also Googling this.
That's okay. Because, like, honey, sweetie,
right,
love, like, those all make sense.
Right.
Why baby? Why babe? It's weird. Anyway, so I was more, like, just a little bit more affectionate. And I felt so much better. Like, it wasn't anything extreme. I felt so much better.
Right.
And so this was an emotional discovery for me, saying I'm allowing myself to not be a stonewall, especially like it's not cute anymore. You know, like again talking about like growing up and like just being okay with like the things you want and like allowing yourself to live the life you want. Like when I was younger, it was cool and like edgy and like no one could touch me, and that was like I loved that. But like now it's just not, it's just like lonely at that point. And like I don't have to be. Like I have my friends, I have my partner, I have my family.
Yeah.
Like making yourself cold like that just to be cold.
Right.
There's other factors, obviously.
Well, it's true because like empowerment is an individual journey, but that doesn't mean that you have to experience it alone. Like you're doing it for yourself, but that doesn't mean you have to be by yourself.
Yeah, like sorry, go ahead.
No, that was pretty much it. I was just adding to your point. But I have the baby article for whenever we're ready to read it.
Well, I would love to. But it was like it was empowering because I've always done the independent thing, and that was great, and I loved how independent I was, and I think there was a part of me that worried that I was going to lose it, like a subconscious part of me that thought I was going to lose some of my independence if I let myself like 100% like dive in. And I don't want to say dive in like I wasn't fully invested. I was. But in the sense of like allowing myself to express those emotions, like it felt like part of me still could have that independence, but that I needed to like be cold to be independent. But like I'm now realizing I don't have to be. And I think I knew that objectively, and we like the culture talks about it all the time. Like you're allowed to be soft and stuff like that.
Believing it for yourself is another.
But yeah,
battle.
I think because I'd been so like hard and tough for so long, it felt like I couldn't be like that. So it was an interesting discovery this past week.
I'm glad. I mean, I have like in your relationship. I mean, you guys have been together like for a few months. It hasn't been insanely long, but it's been enough time to like notice a change. And I remember when before you met him, when I would like talk to you about like relationship stuff, whether it was like I was casually seeing someone or I was in a more serious relationship, things were very black and white to you of like, and not that that was wrong, but there was only one answer, I think, in a lot of ways with those conversations that we would have. And I remember like this like most recent kind of like experience that I'm having with a person currently. I remember being so nervous to bring it up to you because it had like such weird waves over the few months. And I remember like saying it to you, and like old Arnoni would have been like, don't like him, don't trust him, like this is a bad idea, like, you know, like hold him to the standard that he, you know, like, and I think there's value to that. I'm not at all saying that that is the wrong thing to do, but this time around you were like, listen, I don't like their past behavior, but I trust your judgment, and so far so good, so we'll see. And it was just a way more like, I don't know, I feel like you're more embracing of the gray now. which is really nice. Yeah, and it was so reassuring to me because like we've talked about this too, like as a more submissive person, befriending someone who is an overlord of opinion and dominating in every aspect, your opinion is incredibly valuable to me. And there were points in our friendships where it was to a fault on my end, like I valued it too much and I allowed it to influence my life more than I allowed myself to think about what I wanted and what I felt was best for me. Not implying at all or saying in any way that you were forcing me into like a decision that I wasn't, but it was just I wasn't making choices for myself because I didn't want to and I was uncomfortable
and
with it.
It was also so easy for me to just like give an opinion. Like I just like throw it out there, and it was good
Right.
once you realized this and you like told me about it, about like that my opinion was too much and that you weren't forming your own opinions. That was also a real like big thing for me as well. Like you need to back up. Like you need it's your opinion. Like people don't have to follow your opinion. That's why it's your opinion, you know? Like that was also really good for me.
Yeah.
In the sense of learning like communicating is great. Like great, obviously you should, but there are times when you can like back up a bit and let people live their life.
Yeah.
You should, like, I think the way that it was this time was different. Like, here are my suspicions. Here's what I don't like, but here's what I do like. Like, honest, but less, there's just less judgment.
Yeah.
It
definitely feels that way for sure. Like there's a softness to it. And also like going back to your point about not feeling like you were giving up your independence by entering a relationship, but subconsciously worried that that would kind of happen. Like I think another element of your discovery to this, if I could speak for you, is
go for it.
You are now experiencing for the first time that when you enter a relationship, the things that you're, for lack of a better term, giving up are things that you don't want anymore. Like being, alone all the time, flirting with other people, like engaging in romantic relationships, whether it's like you're just having casual sex or whatnot. Like I and this is my own personal opinion. You and I have talked about it before, but I am a monogamous individual, and I don't think that's the only way to be by any means, but one of the things about monogamy that I love so much is that there is, and if there isn't, there should be, an awareness that we as humans are sexual beings. We're sexually attracted to a wider range of different people. And what I love about monogamy is that it is the decision that despite that biology, this is still my person. I still just want this person because I found my little gold nugget and this is just for me. And so it's like it's seeing what's out there and being like, I picked the best one. And the best one for me, at least, and being the relative term. But like, so like that is what you relinquish. But I don't know, like in my experience, even in relationships that were not so great, there was like an essence of celebration in that, for me at least, of like I don't want to be with anyone else right now. I don't. And again, the disclaimer, this is not relatable for everyone. I know many polyamorous people who are just as fulfilled in that as I am in like my lifestyle. So, but with just us monogamous ladies, I feel like that is kind of the discovery, or at least another element of it, of like, yeah, I'm giving it up, but like I've never laughed this hard. I've never been this happy. I'm learning so much about myself, and I'm allowing myself to be soft, and I'm with someone who has created an environment where it's safe for me to do so.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. Like, it's not just about like picking a person and deciding like this is my person, so I'm gonna
poke a hole in that
go ahead and do all that. But more so of like I was thinking about it in the sense of like when you and like I'm a different person than when you and I met.
Right.
And I have grown so much from that as well. Yeah. And I think it's just kind of the realization of like being with someone who has allowed me to start, like, discovering pieces of myself I didn't know I had, like, little, and, like, not in the sense that it wasn't possible. I said this before we got together,
Yeah.
when I had, like, told you that I was open to a relationship, that I was like,
Right.
I think I've learned as much as I can single, like, on my
Yeah,
own.
yeah, yeah.
Which may or may not be true, but, like, I
For
didn't think there was
now,
any.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, I think there's a lot for me to learn, but I don't know how much more I can grow on my own. And I think, like, him and I are growing together as well, like, obviously,
Yeah.
and, like, becoming closer as time goes on, just, like, with experience and different things. But it's also, like, I'm growing myself, like, individually
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Which is strange. It's good. These are things, like, I've been so used to, like, knowing myself in such a specific way that it's strange to, like, find these parts of me.
Yeah,
Not
because
bad, but
no,
yeah.
but yeah, new. And I mean, like, there really
It's a little
is
scary.
like, I mean, yeah, but it's new. That's why, like,
Yeah.
new things inevitably are gonna be, like, at face value uncomfortable and frightening. And like, not that the version of you single and the version of you in a relationship are two different beings, but there's, when entering an environment that is in the unknown, like, it's just a fact. There's a spider on my bed. Oh my god.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Kill
Stephanie!
it. Kill it. You have to kill it. You can't get up. It's gonna run away.
I know, but what do I do? I don't have anything. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Use your sweatshirt.
Oh my god. No. Oh my god.
Okay. Do you have a tissue? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Stephanie, eat the spider snack. Snack for you. Hors d'oeuvre. Oyster cracker. Oh my god.
Don't lose it.
I already did. I already
lost it.
Okay. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Kill it.
I did. Okay. Ooh, that was so scary.
Look at your independence.
Okay. 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 So, I'm not an arachnophobic, but I really hate them.
It's gonna be so good when you live alone.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I mean...
what you just did.
That's technically true. Oh my god. You laid there and did fucking nothing. Can you see her? Hold on. Let me see if I can.
No. Obviously not.
This is what was done. This is what was done as I screamed. This was it. Like, as I screamed, she went, "Great, I become bread loaf." Anyway, what were we talking about? Empowerment and independence.
Yes, specifically, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad I displayed mine today.
Well, yeah. It's also interesting for us to talk, because for our viewers who do or don't know, I've always been single. I'm 25, and I always had until now. Ellie,
and I have never been single.
Never been single. Ellie loves a relationship.
I do. But I before we make fun of me for my inability to stay single,
that's not bad.
It's not bad if you're not doing it for the reasons that I did. But I said, because I had a massive breakup in 2022, and the thing that I said was, I do not want to be in a relationship for the entirety of 2023. What made me make that decision is I was like, I keep making the same mistakes. Like, something has got to change. I keep making so many excuses. I keep, in some cases, allowing abuse to occur. Like, I'm not deriving, like, empowerment and independence from these relationships. I'm allowing myself to be submissive outside of the bedroom. And
yeah, like, it don't make you feel better.
No, not at all. And so I was like, I do not want to be in a relationship until I feel like I am ready to do that. And I kept my fucking word. 2023,
You
I did not get into a relationship, which sounds so pathetic, but
There's this. That's so funny you say that, because there's this girl I like on TikTok, and I just saw one of her videos earlier tonight. I didn't know she was doing this until now, but I guess she's always been very like that. Like her whole life has always been like centered around boys in the sense of like dating them, trying to date them. Every
Yep.
situation was like, how can I make the men feel better? How can I like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And so she realized it and decided 2024, she called it going boy sober. She's not going to date all of 2024. And she said it was being boy sober.
That's so funny. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it was, like, 2023 was a very, like, rewarding year in that respect. I mean, for the first half of it, I was so sad and ill. But I, like, I don't know, I got to explore my queerness. I got to, like, finally, like, be alone and not, and all the things that I liked about being single when I was for, like, very short periods of time, which was, you know, I don't have to negotiate my time. I don't have to do this and that. And, like, a lot of it was really valuable.
Like, how do you want to spend your time?
Yeah. And so now I'm at a point where, as, like, I've been talking about it with my therapist, where I do feel like I'm ready to be in a relationship again. And I, like, have, like, very seriously considered it, because I feel like I've done the work where I know what I deserve. And the decision that I made last year was, I'm not getting into a relationship until I really feel like I'm being treated well. Because not necessarily that, like, my past relationships were all bad people. One in particular was not great, but like, you know, like, I don't know, like, not to make excuses for the men at all, but I certainly didn't behave perfectly. And I think when you're in a relationship that is not working, you both are kind of your worst selves in a way.
Yeah, because it's like, if you don't love yourself, you can't love the other person. So like, whether you're on like the giving or the like whether you're on the like giving or taking side, like you'll accept. Oh, what was this example? Okay, this is, do you know David Sloth, the comedian?
Yeah.
He uses this analogy of like, you have to love yourself completely when you get into a relationship, and he says that like, if you don't love yourself completely, if someone comes in, if you only love yourself 20% and someone comes in and loves you 30%, you're going to think that's amazing. And that's like all you ever wanted, because they love you more than you love you. But that's still not that, you're missing 70% of what love is.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good analogy.
It is. And I mean, like, I think I was a different vein of that. I loved so hard because I thought, one, I was in love with the potential of a lot of former partners, and believed that playing the long game and waiting for them to get better meant that they would. But also,
guys talk a good game,
and they didn't even really do that. But so, like, I think at that point I was giving so much love, like, all of it that I had, and I had none for myself. But I was like, maybe if I put this much love into the universe, I will get it back. And I never did.
If I loved them enough.
Yeah, and it kind of became addicting, because, like, I am a very, like, the opposite of you. I think our mutual friend Tess called us the Black Cat Golden Retriever duo. Like, I'm incredibly affectionate. I love giving gifts. I love holding hands. I'm not gonna, like, sit on someone's lap at a bar by any means, but, like, the thought will cross my mind. It was so addicting, because that is my love language by default, is to give. But there was, like, another element of it too, which was like, if I do it, maybe it'll come back to me. And it never really did. And I don't necessarily think that's entirely the other person's fault, because, like, that's an insane expectation that I'm setting for someone who just is not gonna get there. But this is all a very long-winded way of saying, like, once I got out of the, like, wallowing phase of the breakup, I was like, all right, and I stopped being resentful of the fact that I was single, because for a very long time I was, and to be fair, it was annoying when you're like fresh into heartbreak and the first thing people say is, "Oh, this is going to be such a time of growth for you. You're going to love it. You're going to find so much empowerment."
Yeah, that
When
is
sometimes
probably
they
the
weren't
worst.
even in that situation, like like I was like, "Shut the fuck up." But so once I got over that and just like took a breath and like, took stock, I was like, all right, I need to break this pattern desperately because it's going to kill me. And if I want the like vision of my dream life, which is, yeah, I'm married and I have kids and I gave birth to those kids. Call me old fashioned. It's what I want.
Write magnificent novels.
Yeah, I want it. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. It's just what I want. But I don't know. I just realized I was like, I'm not gonna let myself be with someone where I am fighting tooth and nail to make that happen and to keep it afloat.
Yeah.
Because if I am with the wrong person, but I'm married to them and I've had kids with them, I know myself. I know that I would stay there forever because it fulfilled my image and I would not be able to let that go. So I also should be noted, I was single for over a year at some point, but I was still like every calendar year in a relationship. And from 2014 to 2022 I was in a relationship of some sort.
In the calendar year.
Yeah. So that's 9 fucking years of like not being single. And sure, one of them was like May 2018 to August 2019, but like still. So anyway, 2023, I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'll fool around, I'll have some fun, like I'll do this, I'll learn about myself, like all this stuff.
But yeah, that's about you.
Yeah, but like in terms of like committing, I was like, I'm not doing that. And now Gabe's at a point where she's ready for love. And it's Valentine's Day. So
I know.
what better time?
Love.
I know. We didn't even do that on fucking purpose. My God.
It was on the brain.
So it's exciting. And that's what I mean when I say like I really like where life is, because like the prospect of being in a relationship now doesn't feel like a necessity. It feels exciting. It feels like something I want. And I want not because I feel like I will be worth something if I'm in it. And finding someone who celebrates me and sees the things in me that like I have now learned that I possess and believe that I possess those things. So I don't know. It's just it's fun, and it's like I used to like, and I still, for all intents and purposes, do like hate the idea of dating and like meeting someone at a bar and talking to them. It's like that's my social anxiety. Just she gets bloated and she farts and she's scared and she has to go home. So but like I don't know, like these past few months, like getting to know someone has been so fun. Like just like, and it's like I don't know. It's like all the butterflies and all the like grossness, but then like the more you get to know them, the more you like them. And I've only ever had that with like my very best friends. I've never had that romantically before.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you get to know them and you're like, fuck, I hate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
or
shit.
I can change you. I'll make it work. You treat me like shit. That's fine. You can spit in my eye. That's cool.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
I think in your past relationships, like now it's like everything, the feelings are exciting and new and fun, where in the past it was like when you got the feeling, it was like a checklist of like, I have to hit this, I have to hit that. So you would like assign things to that, whereas now, at least for me, it's like you kind of accidentally do that.
Yeah.
Like you lose track and you're like, oh my god, did that happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not because do you remember the Halsey song about, it was one of the songs about G-Eazy, and I can't remember it, but where she says, the butterflies were warning signs.
Oh, Graveyard. Great song.
Graveyard. Yeah, where she says, She said the butterflies are warning signs.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah.
heard it with other people that were like, you should not feel like nervous. Like that way, like your heart racing and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
but like your stomach shouldn't drop. That's fear.
Yeah.
You're misaligning those feelings.
Yes,
That's not
yes.
like that feeling is not good.
Yeah,
You don't know what your body is saying to you. And I
yeah.
always thought that was like interesting. But now like you get in those moments and you kind of like don't realize you feel that like excitement that you had assigned yourself to feel in the past.
Yeah. Or it was like a wave of relief of like, thank God, like this
Yeah.
person did the most basic human decent thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've committed my life to them, so thank God they're not being a shitbag.
Yeah.
So it's just so nice not to feel that way anymore in like every aspect, and like to keep my standards high, because like now like the people in my life are only people who I value and I want to get to know more, and that that I love.
Yeah,
So,
because I think it's about like knowing you'll be like okay, like on your own. That like
mhm,
you're okay by yourself. So like before
right.
you would stay in the relationship because you couldn't be alone. Like
No.
not to speak of you, but like
Well, you know.
this is but this
You
is
were
also
there.
like this is also like generally true that like when you stay in a bad relationship like that, it's because you're more scared of yourself alone
Yeah.
than like you're more scared of your own feelings by yourself, so you just focus on their feelings
Right.
and what they're doing.
Yeah.
But once you spend that time by yourself, like you're able to say like I trust myself enough that I'm not going to be with someone until it's an addition to this feeling, until
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't know, a lot of discussions that I've been having like about this with like you and my therapist and like other people is like yes, the unknown is terrifying, and heartbreak, I've experienced it a few times now, and it never gets easier at all. But I would rather love, and especially now, love in this way than not ever experience it for the sake of being safe.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, I
Mm.
feel like I found my balance. Like before it was cling for dear life because no one else will ever love you, and I didn't really end up going the other way, actually. Like I'm just I love too much for that. So like I feel like I just like kind of slowly eased into it, where it's like I'm now in a really good place. I'm ready to open myself up to somebody else, and the idea of it not working out is, yes, admittedly terrifying, especially as I
Yeah.
grow more and more attached, but it's worth it to me. And I don't think it's ever been
Yeah.
worth it before.
I get
Or
that.
at
That
least
it
worth
is.
it in the way of like, great, I'm gonna like, I'm going to realize more and more that I don't want to end my life, because I'm not, despite how shitty I feel in the aftermath.
Yeah, I think that feeling of like it being scary is also very prevalent. We don't talk about it. That love like isn't all like fun and light and lovey and like lighthearted. Like it's
No.
terrifying.
Yeah,
It's so
it is.
scary.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to end on a positive note here.
I'll
This was
do
a good conversation.
the origins of baby. I've
Oh
got it.
yes,
So
please.
you're gonna fucking hate this, actually.
I know I
So
will.
yeah, and you just I'm like summarizing a whole article, so just bear with me. But
Yeah.
the
Okay.
main thing is the word first became associated with grown-ups around 1600. Oh, this is from the website Ravishly, by the way. Around 1600, when people started using it to describe, quote, childish adult people, unquote. It wasn't until more than 2 centuries later, sometime between 1839 and 1901, specific, that it evolved into a term of adult endearment. It has become the most favored expression of affection in American culture. The answer is at once sweet and a little sinister. Baby is gentle and kind, an expression of our best self-loving another. It signifies a desire to care for and protect our partner unconditionally. At the same time, it's the word that's condescending and superior, an expression of our lesser self-loving another. It signifies our tendency to view our partners at times as infantile, hapless, and needing to be tended to.
That's what I'm
In short,
saying.
Baby is both affectionate and exasperated, exulting and demeaning. And hey, as a term of endearment, at least it's better than the creepily Freudian daddy or papi, and a host of bizarre expressions from abroad. Little elephant, that's Thai. My flea, French. And then in Chinese, the loose English translation, diving fish, swooping geese.
Feels weird.
Yeah.
Okay,
Love
but
is weird.
I honestly, just because it's more like
This has been office hours. We can't speak.
Like,
colloquially.
More accepted doesn't make it better than daddy. It's just the opposite.
Right.
Like, in the way that people who say daddy are looking for a father figure, the term baby is infantizing your partner and making them a child that you care for. It's weird. It also is interesting that they go back to like the 1600s about like making children of adult people, because that's like racialized. Like, that's the history of race and like the creation of race.
Right.
Is like by making other cultures childlike.
Right.
And by like other, like, let's say like the Spanish first going to the Americas, like Columbus and them first going to the Americas and behaving as if they are children who need educated, but they can never be more than children, which makes them beneath you.
Right.
Which is the start of like racialized society that we have now.
This just goes to show Arnone and my like understanding of history. Also, 1600s lifespan so fucking short. Childish adult, that bitch was probably fucking 13 years old.
That's also true, that the girls that they were like having relationships with, I mean, as young as 9. Yeah. If they have their periods, you can marry them.
Yeah, they were like, baby, and she was like, yeah.
She was a baby.
She was a baby.
So don't call your partner's baby.
I guess I'm not baby.
You don't want to be baby.
Baby spice. Anyway, this has been Office Hours. Well, it won't be Valentine's Day when this comes out, but happy belated Valentine's Day.